Hi friends, and welcome to the channel. My name is Ryan Abair, and this is where I share my insights. And today I'm talking about understanding the importance of being able to focus. And the only way to teach people how to focus is through concept, which is what focus avoids, concept. But I'm going to talk to you about focus in a conceptual way that might help in the practical application of being someone who can concentrate better. And I think this is our superpower, especially when it comes to unlocking the creative mind. Stick around. The inspiration for my talk today comes from a book I read many years ago, and I need to read it again, but it's a book I highly recommend. It's called Stolen Focus by Johann Hari. And it reads really well, and it's very thought-provoking, and you can see in the writing of the book that he believes that humanity has lost its ability to connect to the deep creative mind. And this has been something of a concern to me as well, being in higher education for the last 25 years, that your typical college student is consuming so much social media and always in devices, and there's never an access to the creative mind because we're too busy. And I believe strongly in two important principles. Number one, we must learn to love and enjoy our lives. This is really foundational to the survival of humanity. I don't know how that fits into biological evolution, and I don't know how scientific it is. It could be pseudoscience. But the entire book of Ecclesiastes in the Old Testament is meaningless. This life is meaningless, just toilsome, just going to work every day and then you die. And this is sort of the basic idea that we have, that joy, love, connection, community, togetherness, those are at the bottom, and something else is at the top. And this something else is the Neanderthal brain, the animalistic brain, which puts fear above all things. And I believe that the future of our species depends on reversing that, and that we overcome what some religions might call the animal nature. To overcome the animal nature, you would need to connect to very deep and open parts of your brain, which are not accessible to a lot of people because fear has been consuming their life. They're operating from the amygdala, the fear response part of the brain, which generates the kind of life that's just flitting about, just nervous like a hummingbird. So when you're faced with a challenge, all you know how to do is panic rather than to access creative solutions. So those are the two things that I think are very important. And what I want to teach is that we must prioritize love, we must prioritize joy, and we must put fear way, way down on the totem pole. Now, fear is not useless. Fear is useful when you are being cornered by a lion. But most of us live as if we're being cornered by a lion all the time. And it's releasing harmful chemicals into our system, and panic and worry and fear. So focus is connecting to the contemplative part of your mind, which is still and empty and lies lower in the body. It's interesting that we might say, hey, this is a higher kind of thinking, but it's not. The sensation of it is not high in the brain, it's low in the body. It feels like you occupy more of your body when you use this kind of thinking. And it's interesting, the word contemplate has the word temple in it, which is what religion used to be. Now, religion is nothing but a bunch of noise where we tell God what to do. And this is about deep listening, too, and getting in touch with what you might consider the oldest sage in the universe that's connected to your very DNA. And this is your gut intuitive intelligence, which operates slowly, quietly, spaciously, and peacefully. And you have to access it every day. I call it the source. That's not my word for it, but I like that. It's source. It's the source from which all of your ideas, your feelings, your impulses, your fear, the source is, you are the one and only source of all of your anxiety, fear, creativity, all of it. But there are depths of the source what you're trying to access. Now, when we're little, if you had parents like mine, and they were trying to teach you to concentrate, they would concentrate. Come on, just concentrate. And so you develop an idea that concentration is like a sphincter, like an anus or a nostril or some. The body has sphincters everywhere. The esophagus, down in the gut, and so it's a series of muscles that constricts, right? And you might even think of the human being as a sphincter, because we're tubular. Our arms look like tubes, our legs look like tubes, our bodies are tubes. So I believe the human being to be a conduit, a symbol of a conduit through which universal consciousness not only comes through but communicates. And if you want to access good ideas, peace, love, and understanding, you have to learn a new concept of focus. So if I was trying to do something and my dad said, just concentrate, God damn it, blah, blah, blah. So you think concentration is forceful. And there's several ways to think about this concept of focus. As a lens on a telescope, if you concentrate it, the lens gets tight. And you try to focus, the pupil the pupil constricts, right? The eyebrows get all, and you bite your tongue and you clench so we mistaken attention for tension. Because the word concentrate means to condense and to press. It's not the best word to use. Because focus even means a tight, the sphincter closing, And to me, the feeling of deep concentration is dilation. A womb. Inhaling, like it is an expansive property rather than a constrictive one or a restrictive one. So if you want access to what I think to be your most intelligent mind, your highest of the high, if you want to get smarter, you want to rethink concentration as relaxed, heavy. The body, the shoulders drop, the neck relaxes, the face. But there is a certain openness and expansiveness. It almost feels like you start to occupy your entire body. And those tubes become dilated. So dilated nostrils, dilated. So so what happens is focus is actually a peeling back of a foggy mind. It's a lifting of that life is doing this. And that's it's pressing in on me. No. The universe is expanding. You are expanding. So focus is a radiating kind of listening, occupation of the entire body. If you sit with me for a second, I want you to occupy your body from the toe to the head and let all of the feeling of your attention go into the body from the tips of your finger. That's omnipresence. And omniscience is a mind that is quiet. That's omniscience. And omnipotence, which is all potent, you open potency, omni, everywhere. And as you kind of become more aware of the larger, you realize that your consciousness is not yours. Your mind is not in your brain. It's everywhere. That what you see as the outer world is an extension of you. Now, you can't, that's a concept. This is something you have to experiment with. And some of you may have noticed I have mechanical clocks in my house, and I love listening to a clock. That's a wonderful way to calm yourself. It brings you back to the present moment, and it makes you concentrate. This clock in here, you can barely hear it ticking, and I like to get so quiet that I hear it ticking. One day I'll bring the microphone over there so you can hear it. But those things aren't distracting to me. They just remind me not only of what time it is, but to be present. And they ground me. They remind me of the ancient sage that needs space in me. See, I believe there to be a 14 billion year old wise sage deep within us that is communicating from the de profundis, from the profound, from the depths. And this is what focus is. It's leaving the brain, no concepts. See, I'm teaching concepts here. But if you rethink thinking, that is something to sit with. That in the contemplative mind is where you learn for real. And you get into certain frequencies where you catch ideas in the ether. That's what it feels like. It feels like you're an antenna, an empty conduit that has a brain that's keeping everything from being caught in the greater universe. So if you want to catch the idea, you want to remain open and trusting and receptive. And you'll start getting ideas. But first you're going to learn about yourself. You're going to learn who you are. then you'll start getting great insight. That's what this is about. Where does insight come from? Yes, it comes from deep within you, but it also feels like it's all you. You are everywhere. Even in conversations you hear with strangers, I'm constantly picking up ideas from my blog. My brain just on that frequency. Somebody will say something. Oh, that's a great, so you're constantly in abundance of ideas. So if you want to be a great artist or a great speaker or a great musician or whatever it is, or a writer, a dancer, a lot of this is contemplative. And when you're engaged in your activity, you can bring that same peace. I try to do that before I give you, when I get on YouTube and speak. I try to make sure my abdomen is not all I clenched down. I try to make sure I feel very grounded when I speak to you. And I always prioritize love. These are topics I love. And I want to show you love. Because you deserve it. Whoever you are watching, you deserve my best information. And it's not coming from me. It's coming from the first person's perspective that we all share. This is not my information. It's not your information. It's our information. Oh, yeah, that's why somebody writes a book like this. They say, the need for it. Everybody could benefit. Write a book. Do something amazing with your life. Through a new understanding of something we used to call focus, which is actually openness, dilation, equanimity, listening. Watch if it doesn't make a difference. You won't be so quick to react or join in on an argument or go down a bunny hole of complaints. You'll be able to come up with solutions that nobody can. You'll be able to work on projects, write symphonies, write a big book. You'll have this openness, and your mind's not going to be invading you anymore. So that's what I believe can help us all, is access to the deeper mind and prioritizing love, of course. I'm always talking about those things. If you could do those two things, it would change your life. Put joy and love at the top of the list, and you're going to prioritize that. And then rethink focus, which is not constrictive, but releasing and allowing those wonderful ideas to come through you as the empty conduit through which the universe communicates through and to itself. Okay, friends, thank you for watching and subscribing. If you enjoyed these insights, my name is Ryan Hebert, and I hope that you will check out my daily blog, which is called mymorningmotivator.com. Thank you.